Hey guys, welcome to Creative Soft, and today we are going to discuss why the Apple's M1 chip is much more faster than a traditional Intel chip. So this is the new thing what the Apple have launched for the 2020. So they have come up with their own silicon called as the M1 chip, which we had been seeing in their iPads. So what it does is, with the help of this, it can even run the native apps, like the iPhones and iPads directly on your MacBook. So let's see why this particular M1 chip is much more faster, guys. So this is a small giant leap, and I like the wordings when Apple writes all these things. You can just go to apple.com. I'm staying in India, so I use IN. So Mac/M1. So this is the URL. You all can go and check it out. Also, let's see the reason behind the M1 chip being so fast is because the entire system is on a single chip. So one of the best thing what I like about this chip is it is just built on the 5 nanometer process. So basically what they have is something called as fabrication, and fabrication are like the one of the five fine layers of which the processor is made of, and they were able to squeeze that to 5 nanometer, guys. And 5 nanometer is extremely thin. I mean, consider your hair to be somewhat like 1/10 of your hair, so that would be, still the 5 nanometer would be less. Also, they use something like the 16 billion transistors for this. So 16 billion is, I mean, a lot. Also, they have something called as the unified memory shared across the entire system. That means you have your single sort of a memory, the entire RAM, and it is shared across the CPU and the GPU. It's something called as UME. So what you all don't know about, if you all don't know what this UME stands for, then it is Unified Memory Architecture. You can just look for it or Google it, guys. So one more thing is, it also have this the Apple claims that it is 3.9 times, they have the faster video, and up to 7.5 or 7.1 times the faster image processing. Sorry guys, let me just silent my phone. So I'd been using the iPhone 11 for quite a bit. If you all haven't checked my iPhone 11 video, y'all can just search for it, search for Creative Soft and put iPhone 11. So I have even shared some accessories along with that. So this is the massive CPU performance upgrade, guys. I feel the M1 chip is better in terms of battery life. That's the most amazing thing, but we'll come to that later. So this is an 8 core CPU. Till what I know, it have the 8 core GPU also, but we'll come to that a bit later. So this Apple claims that it is almost 3.5 times the performance of it, and there are 4 high performance cores, there are 4 efficient cores. So with this efficient cores, I guess you'll be getting extremely a lot of power efficiency, and the battery life would be good. Okay, so this is sort of the chart, what Apple claimed it. So this latest PC laptop chip, which is still like sort of slower, but Apple have not officially like compared it. So this is CPU performance versus power, guys, and this is a faster CPU performance, that is almost 2 times faster than their latest PC laptop chip. Okay, so technically what Apple want to say is it is faster than 2 times faster than any of the Intel chips. So the one thing what I like about this, almost like 25% PC makes performance using the same percentage of power. Okay, so this is the kind of thing what I am interested in. It is CPU performance per watt, guys. So it is almost 3 times CPU performance per watt. So definitely the efficiency would be much more better if you are using the M1 chip. So theoretically it would give like almost like double the uh, what do you say, the battery life of that particular laptop. So this is the world's fastest integrated graphics in a personal computer. Yes, there is no doubt, because if you see the iPhones, that is iPhone 11, and when it was launched, and even today, the fastest Android phone cannot catch it. So even if you consider the ROG phone by Asus, it is still lagging in terms of benchmark, guys. So somewhat I feel, and the M1 chip will be definitely faster compared to those. So yeah, so as I was saying, it is a 8-core CPU, the most advanced graphic processor what Apple have built, and it have 25k concurrent threads. So threads are nothing but, guys, if I just show you all, then threads are nothing but the individual the processes which are run together, so it makes one particular thread. So you can run 25k threads, okay, so which is like sort of a wonderful thing. And this is a GPU performance. I'll keep it like this video very short. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, guys, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button, and also share this particular video with the people who are thinking of buying a MacBook in maybe like in 2020 or 2021. So it would be helpful for them. Also there is this 2 times faster GPU performance, which matches with the peak performance at 3%. I wouldn't bore you all with all those things. You can just go to this particular link URL and come. So one thing what Apple have done, and which is brilliant, guys, is it's the next generation machine learning thing. So machine learning, as you all know, it is the AI is embedded in, I think, almost every phone. When you're taking a photograph, it is going to sort of render it based on, if it is sunset, then it is just going to make those top highlights low, and give that kind of a blue sky, and even in low light. And this is just an example, guys, but this machine learning, with this you can there is something called as neural engine. If I just scroll it on top, Apple uses this so-called as neural engine. So with the help of this particular neural engine, it performs all these AI algorithms very well, guys. And basically there is sort of something like, if you are using something like Final Cut Pro, which I do sometimes, and you can intelligently clip the fraction of this in time, then there are a lot of things which you can do. You can read these things in details. And I like the way Apple have this kind of presentation. It's a very black background with only the highlights are there. Fastest machine learning performance, and it's all good, guys. So this is what, like, you won't able to see through your eyes, but then you are able to feel it. Serious performance and ridiculous battery life. I have read many blogs and stuff like this where the MacBook can perform, especially the MacBook Air with the M1 chip can perform say more than like 16 hours, 15 to 16 hours. So which is brilliant, guys. So typically my work day is between around somewhere like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and I am a heavy user, so I never shut down my system for like 12 hours a day. And what I can do is I can just charge if it is around 17 hours or maybe on 20 to 15 hours. I mean, this definitely will give me at least 1 day of battery life in my case. And I think this is the one with the M1 chip. You have the Pro 13-inch model and the MacBook Air also. So both of them are supporting the M1 chip. So if you are a heavy user, I would definitely suggest you to migrate towards a MacBook Pro, but I feel the MacBook Air this time is the more compelling option. I'll tell you in the end of this video, so please watch this particular video till the end, and I'll tell you why the battery life of the 13 is might be better, but then it is more compelling option to go for the MacBook Air, especially with the M1 chip. Okay, so with this they had to even go with their own operating system, that is the Big Sur. Okay, so Big Sur is this. So the thing is, what happens is, once you release the brand new MacBook, so definitely the architecture is changed, and sometimes what happens is, you need to make the changes to the code of the operating system, guys. And since this is built on something like the M1 chip, which is almost like having the same architecture sort of like an iPhone, so the thing, games and everything will be running faster. So they had to go with the Big Sur operating system this time. So they have built, and basically what happens is, this M1 chip is able the system with M1 chip now works instantly, which is phenomenal, guys, especially for a person like me who just close the lid and then go outside, and then when I come back, I just want to open the lid and I just want to resume my system. So this is how typically I use any laptop or a MacBook. So with advanced security and all, and always the security had been on point with Apple. So there's no hinge over there. So also the M1 brings more apps to the Mac than ever. Now the thing is, you can even play certain games, if you have the M1 chip MacBook. Okay, so this is the universal app. That's every app comes with a Mac, and every app made by Mac is now optimized for the M1 chip. So definitely you'll be able to run certain, especially the Apple centric apps, you'll be able to run it. And sometimes also you will be able to run the iPhone and iPad apps, so which is a great thing. Like for example, natively you can just install the WhatsApp or any other games like in the S49. And also they have built this on the Rosetta 2, guys. So Rosetta 2 is like their new sort of a platform wherein there is a transition which is happening. Like if you are using the old kind of apps which will be running like sort of, this is sort of an emulator which will be running it like smoothly. Okay, now coming back, so which Mac with the M1 chips you have to buy? So regarding this, guys, more than me, I think you will be able to answer this particular question. So if you are very budget centric, guys, like if you don't want to spend too much or you want to wait for a while, I would, if you have a 2019 or a 2020 MacBook, any MacBook, I wouldn't suggest you to upgrade now. So I would say hold your horses till now, and when the platform is like sort of developed, then you can go maybe like with the M2 chip in the future. But as of now, if you don't have a Mac, and if you're buying your first Mac, I would definitely say that this is the right time to buy the Mac with the M1 chip. Okay, don't look for backwards towards Intel chip Mac. So just buy the M1 chip Mac right now if you are fresh to something like the Mac. And then okay, now which Mac to buy? If you are an entry level person, I would definitely select towards a Mac Mini. But then again, remember, you need to buy the UPS, then you need to buy the monitor, the keyboard, and it's quite expensive, guys, if you are just going with this only Apple products. Then okay, let's check. So then what will be coming is the MacBook Air. This will be a slightly expensive option than the Mac Mini, but then it's a laptop, guys, and this is a sort of a tiny system. Then if you have cash about 1 lakh Indian rupees, or maybe around more than $1,000, then you can definitely go for the MacBook Pro. So let's see what are the prices with the Mac Mini in India, guys. Okay, let me just open this and this in the back end. So right now what so this is the thing, the M1 chip, and the prices are around 64,000 and 84,000. Now what do you get with the individual one? So both of them are 8 cores, The only difference being the 512 GB storage, guys. Remember, this is a unified system, and later on you cannot upgrade the memory. Okay, so you are just left with either 256 GB or 512 GB. So if that is your highest priority, if you think you are going to use it for something like or video editing and all, I would definitely recommend going in the 512 GB, guys. Also, if you see the difference, that is around whooping 20,000, but I wouldn't recommend for the entry level people, since people who are buying the M1 chip with the Mac Mini is other people who are looking for not so professional kind of work. So there's no point in going for this particular 84,000 system. You can just go with the 64,900 system. Okay, so and there's no point in buying this particular 3 gigs core i5 core this thing with the same memory specs, guys. So I technically don't think so. So the cheaper option would be M1 chip. So only if you are using something like the previous ones, wherein you know if you are running the old chip, then only I would suggest going for something like this. Else I wouldn't recommend. I mean, if you are using older programs. So if you see, it comes only with a 8 GB of unified memory. That's it. And basically they are the same, except you are just paying for extra 256 GB storage. You are paying around 20,000, which I don't think so you should be paying, because then definitely you can get along with it by using an external hard disk. Okay, so that was the case of the Mac Mini with the M1 chip. Now next we have the 13-inch MacBook Air. Okay, so this also comes with the M1 chip. So similar story, guys, but the only difference being the 256 GB variant, you get the 7 core and you get the 8 core for the 512 GB. So rest everything is same: Force Touch ID, Magic Keyboard, Retina display, and every single aspect I feel it's just identical. So there is again no point in spending around extra maybe like 7, if we just calculate this, so 25,000 just for the 512 GB, and another maybe like another extra core for the GPU, because in any case, guys, this will be one of the fastest system along with compared to any Intel chip. So I don't think so it's worth spending extra this much of amount, that is around 25,000 extra for 24 to 25,000 extra. So I think it is better to skip this, especially the 512 gigs one, because finally you are getting the same unified memory for both of them. And later on you can even opt for this HyperCare Plus for Mac. Sometimes they are sort of effective, but I truly don't believe in it. So that's just my opinion, guys. And again, you have these MacBook Pro models. Okay, so let us talk about the MacBook Pro model. Again, buy MacBook only if you are in that Apple ecosystem. So in my particular case, I'm using iPhone as my daily driver, so that is one of the big thing. Okay, now coming back to this M1 chip for this, again it's the same story, guys. So you are paying around 1,23,000, okay, or 1,22,900 and 1,42,000. So basically there is a huge around 20k difference between just the storage. The base model storage is around 256 GB 512. This is not upgradable, so if storage is the highest priority, then you can go with this. Even then, like, I would still recommend, I mean there are too many options which are available for storage. In this comes, I think, along with the USB 4 ports, guys. So it is going to be, or Thunderbolt. So I've been using this Thunderbolt ports even on my other laptops like MSI. So if you have not seen that particular video, you can just search for the MSI Prestige 14 laptop. Okay, so I've been using, and even Thunderbolt or the USB 3.2 is much more faster, guys. So definitely you can get an external storage, and instead of going for this particular option, you all can just skip it and just go for with only with the 256 GB variant. So that's it from my side, guys. If you haven't subscribed to this particular channel, please subscribe and share it with your friends. Also, like one more thing I wanted to tell you all is I don't think so. If you are not a graphic designer, or if you have that old softwares which are specific to the Intel chip, if you all are not into that particular ecosystem, I don't think so. You all should go ahead and go for the Intel based Core i5 laptops right now, because the price is extremely high, guys. It is almost like around 50,000 extra compared to the M1 chip, and definitely the M1 chip is much more faster, guys. And also the difference between the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro, okay, the 13-inch model, basically I feel you all need to choose based on if you all are using this touch bar and touch id. Sorry, touch id will be there, definitely only the touch bar, guys. And this comes also with the almost the same Magic Keyboard, touch id, force touch, everything, guys. So if these are like sort of an identical, I don't think you all should actually go and get the pro version of this, except for the battery life. And even if you see from this particular thing, I mean, this is more than I'm a heavy user, guys. Means I have my system running the whole day, and I'm an app developer also, and sometimes I do video editing for YouTube just like this. So please hit that like button, and also let me know what you think about this kind of videos. If you like it, I can showcase it more. So if you can see that the MacBook and MacBook Air Pro, I mean to say, and Air, the difference is just 2 hours, guys, for wireless web, and up to 20 hours for movie playback, and 18 hours. So there is just if you see, there is just 2 hours of battery, and trust me, 15 hours and 18 hours, these figures are already impressive. So I don't think so the price difference is sufficient. So this is 92,000, or maybe you can call it like 93,000 in Indian rupees, and this is around 23,000. So this is whooping like 30,000 extra, guys. So I don't think so you need to spend extra 30,000 for getting the touch bar and extra battery, guys. I don't think so, but you all can just go and choose based on, because if you see this is 8 core CPU, 7 core GPU, and 16 core neural engine. So this is almost the same thing, and believe me, this is the most compelling option, the MacBook Air, for most of the people. If you are not into that much of professional work, I strictly recommend getting the 13-inch MacBook Air only. Let me know what's your favorite color. Maybe you want to get it in gold, maybe silver. In my case, it's always going to be space gray, or even if there was a darker color, I would have selected, because all my gadgets are mostly black, including, if you can see from my theme, everything is darker over here. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being patient. I mean, you all have watched this till the end. This is the end of the video. So see you in my next video.